Germany, in Denmark, in Switzerland, for FC Seoul, and now in one of my favorite regions in the world, coming to Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Park Jung-bin. Jung-bin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to have an interview with you. I look forward to have a great session with you. So let's do it.
Thank you. We had to get going kind of quickly there because, well, we had a lovely chat, and actually, you and I both have some roots with the Jeonnam Dragons. We'll get into that in a little bit, but we had to get going kind of quickly because you were saying how much you're loving being in Phnom Penh, and like let's just start there. You've lived a lot of places. You've been in a lot of different cultures, a lot of different cities. What's working so well for you in Phnom Penh?
First of all, I really feel like I'm welcome here. I feel like the people are so very hard and warm and nice, and they're really smiling at you. And I feel like they're sincere and they respect you as a person. And I feel like I just loved it the first moment I arrived here. And when I showed my face at the clubs, and not only at the club, but also in the city from the airport, I just felt like, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing. I feel like it's a hidden gem place in Southeast Asia, So I'm very glad to be here, to be honest. Yeah.
A lot of folks go up to Siem Reap, obviously, to see Angkor Wat and everything else in Cambodia. But I agree. I think Phnom Penh's a little underrated. I think the architecture there is gorgeous. The streets are really well laid out. Obviously, quite a bit of a French influence on the architecture and everything there. And you were just in France before you made the move to Phnom Penh. So have you found the good French food in the city yet?
I mean, there are a couple of French food, French restaurant, but it's no near close to what you can get in real life in France, because the cuisine, wow, mamma mia, is so nice and amazing. And the place I lived in is known as one of the best product you can get in France. And among the French people, it's really the best region you can go for having great cuisine and stuff. And I really enjoyed my staying in France because I really enjoyed every single of it. And me and my wife really loved to live in France, and the experience we had. I mean, it was amazing. It was fantastic.
It's been a good follow on Instagram, which, by the way, if you're not following Mr. Park here on Instagram, go ahead and do that. And speaking of Insta,
please follow. Yes.
Let's go ahead. What's the handle for folks to follow you?
Yeah, they can see me like a different. I mean, I'm a player, but they can see me also exploring the part of city,
And for those wanting to follow along, it's Jung-bin Park with 2 Ks, and that's Jung, Jung-bin Park with 2 Ks on Insta. Give them a follow. And the reason I'm bringing it up so much and pushing it so much, scrolling along on there, we've been following each other for a little while on there. Thanks to Osmar for that one. You recently met Zinedine Zidane. How did that come about?
Well, Zinedine Zidane, wow, what a name, what a player, first of all. Basically, Zinedine Zidane is married to a wife. Her parents live in Rhodes, not too far from my training, my former club's training facility. And I just accidentally ran into him. And I saw from far away, I was driving in the car. I saw a figure from the back mirror who just looked like a Zinedine Zidane. I couldn't believe my eyes, I was like, it can be him. It can be him. But at the same time, I knew his son was playing in Rhodes AF 5 years ago, something like that. And then I knew that he comes to Rhodes once in a while, just to spend some time with the family, just for vacation, because the place is known for a very peaceful. And I saw him. Then I was thinking in my head, he must be him. Then I pull over my car, and then I jumped out of my car, and then I ran straight into him. Wow, I couldn't believe myself that I was actually facing him. And then I start talking to him. Yeah, you can be Zinedine Zidane. It's you, right? He said, c'est moi. C'est Zizou. Zidane. Il m'a dit. He told me just like this. I was shaking myself. I didn't know what to do, because I felt like I met my idol. He was like a big superstar, big hero when I was young. Also, when I was young, I looked up to a player like Zinedine Zidane and Ronaldinho. it was incredible. I cannot even explain it in the words because I can even believe I can still even believe that it was him. So it felt like it was kind of like a fairy tale. It was amazing. So a great feeling.
Did you manage to get out that you're also a footballer, or was it
No,
was it just
I
kind of like,
was just
oh,
like
let's take a selfie?
I was just like, yeah, I just play selfie, and then I start talking to him a bit in French because I can speak French a bit, you know. So I had some talk with him, and his wife was there, and I also asked his wife whether she could take pictures for us, and then he took
Sure.
a selfie, and then what a moment, seriously.
Just love the fact that you ran up and got the picture, and
Yeah,
at no point was
yeah.
it like, oh, also, I'm in the same profession. Like, I'm not just some random fan running up. I'm also a pro footballer, but just like, no.
Ryan, to be honest, I never had these feelings in my career. I never had the feeling, wow, I'm literally shaking. Like I had this kind of fandom, you know, idol. I never had a feelings when I was like meeting some players like in Bundesliga. Oh, I want to see you and this and that. I didn't have this feeling until I met Zinedine Zidane. Wow, it was amazing.
I mean, he's a generational talent, and like you say, I think a lot of folks grew up idolizing him, and I mean, it's still a name that comes up a lot of times with players of who they would like to emulate and who they would like to play like. And obviously, he had a big influence on you, and we could. I mean, we could talk about him and Ronaldinho and all of those guys for a long time. We could talk about France for a long time, but the reason that we're having you on, aside from all of this, is to talk about the move to Cambodia, leaving France behind, and coming over and signing with Visakha. I think this was when the news came through. I liked the move because I live in Southeast Asia and I'm always trying to get these leagues some publicity, get the teams up there. But what was it specifically about this project that brought you over, going from France and meeting Zidane in the streets to Phnom Penh? It's a big transition. So what was it that got you involved with Visakha?
First of all, I knew that Visakha is the club that who has a great ambition, you know, that matched my goals because I'm also ambitious guy, and I just like the fact that how professional they are in terms of like facility, and they're very serious, you know. They had a great object that matched my personal object goal as well. Yeah, it was a kind of like a difficult decision to come to Cambodia straight away from France. It was not an easy decision, but once I made a decision, I was super happy. And once I came here and training with them and showing myself there, I'm super happy. What drew me into this project is that basically the club that is best facility and big project, which it matched my goal.
Had you been to Cambodia at all before you
Oh,
decided to make the move?
to be honest, I've been to Thailand a couple of times back in the days, but I've never been to Cambodia before. And not only Cambodia, but entire Southeast Asia. I'm not familiar with this region.
Welcome. It's glorious. I think you'll like it quite a bit.
So good, so far so good.
The
Yeah.
weather gets pretty warm, but speaking of the weather and getting acclimatized, how has the training been so far? Because like you say, I think especially for folks that don't know, Visakha does have just an outstanding training facility. I don't have any allegiance to the club or anything, but I just love what they're doing. I think the stadium, it's an appropriate size. It's really well done. And you use the word ambition a lot. And I think that comes through with Visakha. I think it's clear that they're a very ambitious club, that they have their eye on the domestic league for sure, but also a little bit beyond that, which we'll talk about a little bit more as well. But how have the training sessions been so far in adjusting to the heat, adjusting to the culture, adjusting to the new club? How's all that been?
First of all, I would like to talk about the heat, and it's definitely something that I'm not familiar with because it can get really hot. Like time to time, it's like 35, but it feels like a 40, 42 or 43, something like this, time to time. But this is something that I have to really get used to. The training has been amazing. We got a new coach not that long ago, who was the former champion of the Latvia, and he's an amazing coach. And I feel like we'll do so well with the new coach and training session so far has been just amazing, and I love it. And I can't wait to have the season. I look so much forward to have a new season. Yeah, can't wait to kick off. Yeah.
Yeah, soon, soon. And I know it's kind of hard to gauge things before you're able to actually get out there in competitive matches, but how have things compared to other places that you've been, European countries, again, FC Seoul? How have things, how would you compare it to that experience when it comes to at least training so far, or maybe some of the film
Mm.
sessions, some of the research
Yeah.
that you've done?
I mean, I can really say about how it is like compared to Europe and the clubs I have been because the season hasn't started. But football is just football, you know. Football is you play with 11 guys on the field, and it's just you play with the football, you know. And there are quality, there is a potential in the teams there and in the league, and that's really drove me into this league. And I feel like there is, I can just say there is for so much potential and huge potential in Cambodia, not only in Cambodia, also in the entire Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and you mentioned a couple of times that the club's goals align with your goals, and what
Mm.
are some of the personal goals that you've set for this season?
I mean, first of all, our clear goal is that we are a very ambitious club, like I said earlier, that we want to win the league and we want to win. We want to be the champion. That's why the clubs brought me. That's why the club brought the new entire coaching staff. And I know that the club has been longing for this since long time. And I know that club they invested a lot, and I know they expect a lot from us and also from the coaching staff. And yeah, my goal is that I just want to help with my ability to win the league and to help the team as much as possible. And my personal goal is that I want to play as many every games in the season and help and contribute myself to winning the champion.
Well, you've prepared the next one that I was going to ask if there's going to be a title contending team, but it seems like you're already saying, yeah, you guys are going to be in there, yeah.
Yeah, we are very competitive, and I like the way what coach also said in the meeting and everything. We want to be the champion. I'm here to be the champion, so we have to act like the champion. We have to put our mind that we are going to be the champion. So
Love it. I mean, yeah, if you don't set it preseason, then it's not going to happen during the season. So I love it. Um, you being there kind of, I think it sparked a little bit of a conversation with a couple of folks about um, the Korean influence on Southeast Asian football in general right now. I mean, yeah, you and I were just talking about you grew up in Gwangyang. Obviously, you moved away quite young, but I'm sure you've been keeping an eye on Asian football in
mm,
general. And we've seen a really huge Korean influence on the region with Uncle Park Hang-seo, as he's lovingly known, up in Vietnam. Shin Tae-young's doing amazing work with Indonesia right now.
indeed.
What do you make of the synergy between a couple of Asian nations kind of raising the tide for all of the boats at the same time, as opposed to maybe looking abroad, but just that the Korean influence on Southeast Asia? What do you make of that somewhat recent trend?
First of all, I feel like it's amazing that what this Uncle Park and then Xinjiang what they're doing have been doing together with the Southeast Asia. I think there is a big influence. They are both of them are big influencer in Southeast Asia. From my knowledge and from my experience, I think what you can, if you can like contribute your knowledge and experience to the country that they want to become champion and they want to become better player teams and so on. I think there is a lot of potential.
And we've seen it a lot at the coaching level. You know, we mentioned Park Hang-seo, Shin Tae-young, Kim Pang-gon is doing some great work in Malaysia, and obviously Kim Sang-shik is going to be dancing his way through things. Oh, I hope he repeats the dance that he did when Jeonbuk won. Please, please, please. But it's
Yeah.
working at the coaching level. At the player level, we've seen a few Korean players move to Southeast Asia, but not too
Mm.
many. Do you think that maybe your signing and bringing success, if you're able to be up there and challenging for the league title and maybe playing internationally, do you think that that could kind of maybe open some eyes for some players back in Korea, back in K League?
I really do hope so, and that's the one of the reason why I came here because I feel like I mean Korea is a good league, and but I just want them to know that the worlds are huge and there are so many leagues and there's so many football leagues, and you can I mean, it doesn't have to be only Korea or it doesn't have to be only in Europe. I just want them to know that the world is big. And as long as you play football, you're happy, you can enjoy on your field. Bro, you just have to go for it, you know. What are you hesitating for? And I just wanted to show them that I'm not afraid of like coming here and to play because football is football. And if you're happy on the pitch, if you do what you love, if you do when you what you like to do, what you love to do, it's a football now. Football is all about taking pleasure, and if you can take pleasure no matter where you are, I think this is what the players are supposed to be. Of course, you are as a player, you're going through a lot, like ups and downs and so on and so on.
Yeah.
But in the end, you have to enjoy, and you don't have much time to enjoy. So if you can enjoy the Europe, Korea, Southeast Asia, America, whatever, you have to go for it. I just wanted to show them. I wanted to be the great example to influence the player. Because you come here, you coming out of your comfort zone, you learn, you know how to respect the other culture. And I always say to myself that I'm Korean, but I have so much cultures in me that I adapt a lot along the way. And you learn so much valuable things along the way. You know, I learned so many great things. I met so many great people in my life back in the days. So this is the great value in the end, I feel like, and that's what for me today as what person who I am, what kind of person who I am today, and I'm grateful for the experience I gathered over the last 12 years playing in abroad. So
And how much of that? Yeah, we chatted a little bit beforehand. I'm a nomad. I move constantly. I stay places about a month and then I move. I feel a similar line of thinking there. How much is that new challenge and getting into a new environment, a new league? How much does that drive you personally and professionally?
of course, it's not an easy decision because I'm not young anymore. I have my wife, and I was also thinking having maybe kids soon. But I'm young. I still want to see the world. I'm very curious-minded person, you know, and I want to to know the other culture, to learn the different language, and I'm just taking pleasure. And also that this exciting adventure. I know one thing for sure that is it will just make me grow as a person, not only as a player but also as a person. So that's how I see it, and I took a chance, and I'm grateful for the opportunity what I've given.
And speaking of travel, tying in the football side, we might have to have a side podcast just talking about traveling and using professions to travel. We'll keep it to football a little bit though, and the opportunity to travel. I think for Cambodian sides is growing. We've seen the introduction of the Shopee Cup, which is a regional tournament. Obviously, with the restructuring of AFC tournaments, which I think people are really going to love. I don't love the name ACL2, but I love the restructuring. I think it's going to really do wonders for Southeast Asian football. Do you think that those tournaments and the ability to travel to see other regions, to go to other countries, do you think that that will also help kind of add to the allure and the draw of playing in Cambodia?
For sure, for sure. What I can say is that what they're doing with this kind of like the cups and so on, this will just make this the region growing because I mean football without competition, what is that? Is nothing. And I feel like this is such a great opportunity, and not only for Cambodia but the entire Southeast Asia. They will grow together, and I just feel like there is a huge potential in the Southeast Asian market. I
Yeah,
hope there are a lot of
indeed.
good players will come and enjoy playing football here and to get to know the cultures because amazing. What I can say is amazing. Wow. It's wow, wow, wow.
Well, hopefully, I love the confidence ahead of the season. Hopefully, we'll see you guys go ahead and get up the table. Well, you know what? Sure, I'll be biased. I'll say hopefully we see you guys win the league because I think it'd be great to see you in some of these international competitions and traveling around. But
For sure.
speaking of international competitions, we got one last one. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat here, just because it's on everybody's mind right now. We're going back to a place you've called home for a long time. We're going back to Europe. Who do you think is going to win Euros?
Ooh, that's the hard one, huh? Ah, you got a good question. That's a good one. Um, to be honest, I like Germany. I think they will win, but we will see. But for me personally, Germany and France, these are the two top candidates. But you never know. Football, like I said earlier, you never know. But I hope Germany will win. But my wife is just saying like, oh, why? What about Denmark? She's a Danish, by the way. Where is a Danish? She's coming here. It's like, sorry.
You didn't mention Denmark.
Yeah. She's very proud Dane. She's a proud Dane. So by the way.
Well, you said
But
maybe
Denmark's doing
Germany.
good. Yeah, Germany.
Yeah. Well, I'm personally rooting for Hungary because I'm loving how much people are loving Martin Adam, the secret of Ulsan and ACL for a while. Everybody's obsessed with him all of a sudden. Love it.
That's good. That will bring a lot of attention. He's like
Oh, he's a big boy.
he's
Yeah.
He's a strong. He's a really strong. Wow.
Yeah. No, it's great. I'm loving all of it, and I'm sure you've seen the saxophone guy in Germany as well.
Yeah.
We need to get him
Cool.
over for a couple of matches in Cambodia, see how he likes it. But
Sure.
until then, obviously, best of luck this season, and thanks again for taking the time.
감사합니다. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you for having me.